Success is not born from comfort, convenience or luck. It is carved out of sacrifice, discipline and the willingness to let go of everything that weakens your focus. Most people desire success, but few are ready to give up what stands in its way. Their distractions, laziness, fear and comfort. The truth is, success does not come to those who wish for it. It comes to those who are ready to pay the price. Every great achievement demands something in return. Your time, your energy, your peace and sometimes even your relationships. The question is not whether success is possible, the question is whether you are willing to sacrifice what it takes to reach it. Nothing great ever comes without loss. Every achievement carries a hidden cost that most people are unwilling to pay. Success demands that you release comfort, ease and instant gratification to pursue something greater. It tests your priorities by forcing you to choose between what you want now and what you want most. Those who cling to convenience can never reach excellence because greatness and comfort cannot coexist. Every step towards success requires a trade, a conscious decision to give up something of lesser value for something far more significant. The path to achievement is filled with sacrifices that sharpen the mind and strengthen the will. Time, energy and peace are often surrendered to discipline and purpose. Success does not accept half-hearted effort, it demands total commitment. You cannot hold on to distractions and still move forward. You cannot indulge in comfort and still grow. Those who reach the top understand that every reward is earned through countless silent choices. Choices to persist when others rest, to focus when others drift and to endure when others quit. Loss becomes the foundation on which true strength is built. When you let go of what weakens you, space is created for growth. Every comfort you abandon becomes a step upward. Each sacrifice refines your focus and builds resilience. Success is not about addition but subtraction, removing what drains your power so only what is essential remains. The pain of letting go eventually transforms into clarity and that clarity becomes the energy that drives unstoppable progress. Many fear sacrifice because it feels like losing, but in truth it is an exchange. You trade temporary ease for lasting achievement, fleeting pleasure for lasting fulfillment. Every person who has achieved greatness has walked through this fire of choice. They have learned that what feels like loss in the moment becomes strength in the long run. Sacrifice strips away weakness and leaves behind discipline, endurance and unwavering determination. Nothing of real value comes freely. Those who understand this truth stop searching for shortcuts and start embracing the process. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is purification. It removes everything that stands between you and your potential. The journey may be demanding, but it forges a person capable of carrying the weight of success. Every loss becomes a step closer to mastery, every sacrifice a declaration of intent. Greatness does not come to those who wish, it comes to those who are willing to give. Discipline is the sharpest weapon in the journey towards success. It is not a choice made once, it is a decision renewed every single day. Talent may open doors, but only discipline keeps them open. It demands that you act with purpose even when motivation dies. Discipline is the ability to do what must be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It is the act of choosing long-term gain over short-term pleasure again and again without excuse. The world often celebrates talent, but it is discipline that sustains achievement long after excitement fades. Discipline is the silent sacrifice that most people avoid. It means waking up early when the body craves more sleep, working harder when the mind screams for rest, and focusing when the world is full of noise. It is the willingness to suffer small discomforts now to prevent larger regrets later. Those who live without discipline become slaves to mood and impulse, but those who master it command their destiny. Discipline is not harshness, it is freedom earned through control. It allows a person to move with precision while others drift in distraction. Consistency built through discipline creates unstoppable momentum. It transforms ordinary actions into powerful habits. Every repetition strengthens willpower and weakens resistance. The one who practices daily, who stays loyal to the process, becomes unshakable. Discipline demands patience because progress often hides behind monotony. But each moment of endurance builds invisible layers of strength that eventually make excellence inevitable. True discipline is not loud or dramatic, it is quiet, steady and relentless. Discipline also refines character. It teaches humility by forcing you to confront your weaknesses and overcome them through persistence. It burns away arrogance, because discipline requires respect for the process. No one can cheat consistency and no one can fake perseverance. The disciplined mind learns to focus. Time is the purest and most unforgiving currency in existence. Every second that passes is a piece of life exchanged for something, whether meaningful or meaningless. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back once spent. It slips quietly away, taking with it the opportunities that could have been seized. The difference between success and failure often lies not in talent or luck, but in how one uses time. Every wasted hour is a silent theft from your own potential, a loss that no amount of regret can reverse. Those who value time treat it like sacred ground, never to be stepped on carelessly. The structure of success is built hour by hour. Each moment, when invested with purpose, becomes a building block toward mastery. The disciplined person does not wait for perfect timing, they make the present moment perfect through action. Procrastination is the slow poison that kills dreams, while consistent effort, even in small amounts, compounds into greatness. Time rewards those who respect it and punishes those who ignore it. The clock moves the same for everyone, yet only a few know how to move with it wisely. When time is treated as wealth, life becomes sharper and more directed. Focus grows, distractions lose their pull, and every day carries intention. A person who understands the value of time no longer wastes it on meaningless talk, empty entertainment, or aimless wandering. They know that every sunrise brings a limited number of hours, and within those hours lies the power to change their destiny. Success belongs to those who recognize that time is not something to pass, it is something to use. Wasted time leaves invisible scars. It robs a person not only of achievement but also of confidence and inner peace. The one who constantly delays their purpose slowly becomes a stranger to their own potential. Every moment postponed becomes a step away from possibility. To control time is to control life, and that control comes through discipline, awareness and deliberate action. Those who fail to honor time soon find themselves living in the shadow of what could have been. The wise understand that time is both a teacher and a test. It demands attention, presence and respect. Success is not achieved in bursts of effort, but in the steady use of every passing hour. Time is the mirror that reflects one's choices. How it is spent defines the quality of one's life. Those who master their time master their destiny, for time does not wait and it never forgives waste. Every moment well used becomes a step closer to greatness. Every moment ignored becomes a silent reminder of what was lost forever. Comfort is the silent killer of potential. Every time a person chooses ease over effort, they weaken their inner strength and dull their sharpness. Growth does not happen in the warmth of comfort, it happens in the friction of struggle. When life feels too safe, too predictable, the soul begins to decay in silence. Comfort seduces people with pleasure, but its true cost is stagnation. Time is the purest and most unforgiving currency in existence. Every second that passes is a piece of life exchanged for something, whether meaningful or meaningless. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back once spent. It slips quietly away, taking with it the opportunities that could have been seized. The difference between success and failure often lies not in talent or luck, but in how one uses time. Every wasted hour is a silent theft from your own potential, a loss that no amount of regret can reverse. Those who value time treat it like sacred ground, never to be stepped on carelessly. The structure of success is built hour by hour. Each moment, when invested with purpose, becomes a building block toward mastery. The disciplined person does not wait for perfect timing, they make the present moment perfect through action. Procrastination is the slow poison that kills dreams, while consistent effort, even in small amounts, compounds into greatness. Time rewards those who respect it and punishes those who ignore it. The clock moves the same for everyone, yet only a few know how to move with it wisely. When time is treated as wealth, life becomes sharper and more directed. Focus grows, distractions lose their pull, and every day carries intention. A person who understands the value of time no longer wastes it on meaningless talk, empty entertainment, or aimless wandering. They know that every sunrise brings a limited number of hours, and within those hours lies the power to change their destiny. Success belongs to those who recognize that time is not something to pass, it is something to use. Wasted time leaves invisible scars. It robs a person not only of achievement but also of confidence and inner peace. The one who constantly delays their purpose slowly becomes a stranger to their own potential. Every moment postponed becomes a step away from possibility. To control time is to control life, and that control comes through discipline, awareness and deliberate action. Those who fail to honor time soon find themselves living in the shadow of what could have been. The wise understand that time is both a teacher and a test. It demands attention, presence and respect. Success is not achieved in bursts of effort, but in the steady use of every passing hour. Time is the mirror that reflects one's choices. How it is spent defines the quality of one's life. Those who master their time master their destiny, for time does not wait and it never forgives waste. Every moment well used becomes a step closer to greatness. Every moment ignored becomes a silent reminder of what was lost forever. Comfort is the silent killer of potential. Every time a person chooses ease over effort, they weaken their inner strength and dull their sharpness. Growth does not happen in the warmth of comfort, it happens in the friction of struggle. When life feels too safe, too predictable, the soul begins to decay in silence. Comfort seduces people with pleasure, but its true cost is stagnation. Those who crave comfort over challenge unknowingly build walls around their possibilities and call them peace. The human spirit was never designed for stillness. It thrives on resistance, adapts through difficulty, and evolves through discomfort. A life without challenge becomes meaningless, and a mind without struggle becomes dull. The more one avoids discomfort, the more fragile one becomes. Strength, wisdom and clarity are forged only in moments of uncertainty and pain. When everything feels easy, it means growth has stopped and the fire within begins to fade. True fulfillment lies in the willingness to step beyond what is known and face the discomfort that shapes greatness. Comfort teaches nothing. It keeps people locked in cycles of mediocrity, whispering lies that tomorrow will bring change without effort. The world belongs to those who are willing to sacrifice temporary ease for long-term evolution. Every act of discipline, every moment of persistence is a rebellion against the weakness that comfort breeds. Greatness demands pain, not because pain is noble, but because transformation requires tearing away what is weak to uncover what is strong. The path of growth is never smooth. It is filled with uncertainty, exhaustion and doubt. But within that chaos lies transformation. When a person embraces struggle instead of avoiding it, they awaken a force within that no comfort can offer. Pain becomes the teacher, failure becomes the guide, and discomfort becomes the fuel that pushes them toward mastery. Every challenge faced builds new layers of strength that comfort can never give. Those who dare to walk beyond comfort discover their true power. They no longer chase an easy life, they chase a meaningful one. Comfort may bring momentary happiness, but growth brings lasting fulfillment. The one who endures the heat of discomfort rises above limitations and becomes unbreakable. Comfort may protect you for a moment, but only struggle prepares you for life. Those who embrace difficulty do not merely survive, they rise, they evolve, and they conquer. Sacrifice builds a kind of mental toughness that comfort can never give. When a person chooses to endure what others run from, they develop a strength that cannot be taught or borrowed. The mind becomes sharp, resilient, and unshakable when tested through sacrifice. Easy choices weaken the spirit, but hard choices carve discipline into the soul. Every sacrifice becomes a silent victory, every hardship endured becomes a layer of inner armor. The mind learns not to break under pressure, but to bend and recover stronger. Mental toughness is not built through comfort or convenience, it is forged through deliberate endurance. When you push through exhaustion, failure, and doubt, you train your mind to obey your will instead of your emotions. Sacrifice teaches control, the ability to act with clarity even when the heart is heavy and the body is tired. It replaces panic with patience and fear with focus. The one who has sacrificed learns that suffering does not destroy, it refines, shaping a sharper, more balanced version of the self. Every time you sacrifice comfort for progress, you strengthen the bond between your purpose and your persistence. You begin to see pain not as punishment, but as a sign of growth. Sacrifice transforms struggle into energy and frustration into fuel. When faced with adversity, the mind trained through sacrifice no longer hesitates, it adapts, it endures, and it continues forward. What others see as difficulty, the strong see as opportunity because they have already paid the price of resilience through their sacrifices. Sacrifice also purifies focus. When you give up what is unnecessary, you begin to value what truly matters. Distractions lose their power and clarity takes their place. The person who has sacrificed learns the discipline of direction. They no longer scatter energy across meaningless pursuits. Each sacrifice becomes a reminder of the cost of success and the importance of staying true to the path. Through sacrifice, you earn the strength to remain calm in chaos and determined in doubt. Those who have never sacrificed will always be shaken by difficulty, but those who have suffered willingly become unbreakable. Mental toughness does not come from winning, it comes from the countless times you refuse to give up when everything seems lost. Sacrifice is the training ground where ordinary minds are turned into extraordinary ones. It teaches endurance, patience, and courage, the three pillars of true strength. In the end, it is not comfort that defines greatness, but the depth of sacrifice that builds it. Distractions are the silent thieves of success. Every moment spent chasing trivial pleasures or meaningless entertainment pulls energy away from what truly matters. The mind that is scattered cannot achieve greatness no matter how talented or determined the person may be. Focus requires sacrifice and distractions are the price that must be paid. Every time attention is divided, progress slows and potential is wasted. Success demands that the mind remain disciplined, vigilant and unwavering in its purpose. Purpose-driven action cannot coexist with constant distraction. When a person is pulled in multiple directions, their energy loses strength and clarity dissolves. To achieve anything of real value, distractions must be identified, confronted and eliminated. Social media idle chatter, unnecessary indulgences and comfort-driven habits are all obstacles that we can resolve. The person who chooses focus over fleeting pleasure gains the power to direct their life intentionally and build momentum toward their goals. The process of eliminating distractions is not easy. It requires awareness, self-control, and the courage to reject what is convenient or entertaining. Most people avoid this work because it feels restrictive or uncomfortable, but discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Each small victory over distraction strengthens the mind and sharpens determination. With fewer diversions, thoughts become clearer, priorities become sharper, and action becomes more decisive. Focus grows stronger through consistency. The more a person practices directing attention to what matters most, the less vulnerable they become to the pull of triviality. Time becomes their ally instead of their enemy, and energy flows into meaningful work instead of wasted effort. A focused mind is a weapon that can cut through complexity and overcome obstacles that would overwhelm the distracted. Every deliberate choice to remain present and engaged reinforces inner power. When distractions die, clarity and purpose take their place. The person who has mastered focus no longer reacts impulsively to every temptation or noise around them. They act with intention, measure their time carefully, and invest their energy where it counts. This single-minded dedication separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, transforming effort into measurable results. The mind that refuses to be scattered becomes unstoppable, and the path to success becomes clear, direct and unshakable. Relationships are tested on the path to success because the journey demands sacrifices that not everyone is willing to make. Time, energy and focus are redirected toward goals, leaving less room for casual bonds or superficial connections. Those who once shared your comfort may struggle to understand the intensity of your ambition. This does not mean they are against you, it simply means the path of growth naturally separates those who are aligned with your vision from those who are not. Success requires clarity in choosing who belongs on your journey and who does not. Comfort zones are challenged as you push beyond familiar limits. The routines, habits and expectations that once provided safety become obstacles to growth. Every step toward greatness forces you to leave behind the familiar and venture into uncertainty. Friends, family and colleagues may resist this change because it challenges the status quo, creating tension and misunderstanding. To evolve, you must embrace discomfort and continue moving forward, even when it causes friction in your closest relationships. Sacrifices in relationships are not always about cutting people off, they are about prioritizing alignment and purpose. Some relationships cannot survive the demands of ambition because they were never meant to support the higher vision you are pursuing. This does not make the journey lonely, it makes it precise. Surrounding yourself with those who understand, encourage and challenge you strengthens your resilience and ensures your energy is not diluted by misunderstanding or negativity. Testing of comfort zones also exposes your own weaknesses. It reveals where dependency, fear of judgment, or need for approval has held you back. The more you stretch beyond what is familiar, the more you discover your inner strength and capacity for independence. Those who grow through discomfort build confidence that allows them to navigate both personal and professional challenges with poise. Sacrificing the ease of comfort zones trains the mind to endure, adapt and thrive under pressure. The path that tests relationships and comfort zones ultimately forges stronger character. It teaches discernment, self-reliance, and the courage to act despite resistance. Success does not demand that you abandon humanity, but it does demand clarity, commitment, and the willingness to embrace isolation when necessary. Those who endure these tests emerge with deeper wisdom, sharper focus, and the ability to cultivate connections that truly matter, ensuring that their energy is invested where it produces the greatest impact. Desire alone is fleeting, it ignites excitement but rarely produces results. Anyone can wish for wealth, recognition or mastery, but without action, those wishes remain illusions. Discipline is what gives desire its shape and direction. It channels raw energy into structured effort, turning fleeting wants into deliberate, consistent action. Sacrifice is the bridge between wanting and achieving. It forces the mind to prioritize long-term goals over temporary pleasure, transforming scattered energy into focused power. Sacrifice strengthens the resolve necessary to sustain discipline. Every choice to give up comfort, leisure or convenience reinforces the connection between desire and action. It is not easy to deny immediate gratification, but each moment of self-restraint builds mental toughness and sharpens focus. The process of sacrifice trains the mind to endure hardship, resist distraction and act with intention, ensuring that desire does not fade in the face of challenge. When desire is paired with sacrifice, discipline becomes habitual. The repeated act of prioritizing long-term goals over short-term pleasure creates patterns of behavior that are almost automatic. Effort becomes consistent, focus becomes natural, and momentum grows without constant motivation. What once required conscious effort transforms into a rhythm of persistence that propels a person steadily toward achievement. Sacrifice embeds desire into the very structure of daily life, making discipline inevitable. Sacrifice also purifies intention. Desire without discipline is scattered and unreliable, but giving up what is easy or comfortable reveals the depth of commitment. It distinguishes true aspiration from mere fantasy. Every act of denial, every moment of choosing effort over ease, refines motivation and aligns it with purpose. Discipline built on such sacrifice is unshakable because it is rooted in conscious choice rather than fleeting emotion. The ultimate power of sacrifice lies in its ability to convert longing into mastery. Wanting something is simple, but giving up what distracts, comforts, or tempts ensures that desire is no longer passive. It becomes active, directed, and unstoppable. Sacrifice transforms vague ambition into a disciplined force capable of achieving what mere desire alone could never reach. Through this process, dreams evolve from abstract wishes into concrete reality. Success is a demanding companion. It will take your sleep, test your will, and break your limits before it rewards you. It is not given. It is earned through choices that most people are too afraid to make. Every sacrifice you make becomes a seed planted in the soil of discipline, and one day it blooms as achievement. The world only sees the flower of success, but the roots are always buried in sacrifice. If you are ready to let go of what holds you back, then success will not be a question of if, but only a matter of when.